I want to show you guys a couple knives that are interesting to me. They're basically the same Wenger product, but one of them was marketed under SwissBuck, while this one was just marketed, as a normal Wenger. I believe they're actually from around the same time period, the 90s, because even these boxes look the same. So like this little kind of rounded cutout there, you'll see that here, and it's the same. The box size and everything's the same. I apologize about my voice. I'm kind of fighting a cold or virus of some sort. But kind of getting into it, this is what they called the Sidekick, as you can see there. Model number 87536. And then I'm not sure if this is even the model number. I see this might be the date actually. So maybe this is actually from 2003. But I think it was the same design in the 90s. This box may have had a sticker there, but it's unlabeled. But this is called a Traveler, and they're basically the same knife. So I'll pop them open real quick. I got these both kind of, I would say, new in box. The boxes are a little tattered, but the knives appear unused. They have the typical, at least the Celador or whatever Wenger called Celador, or they're kind of nylon. You can see. Let me get this right in the camera. There's a little bit of scuffing, but I think it's just from scratching inside the box. Like there's the paper in there. I'll pull it out. The Swiza, whatever. It's the typical Wenger papers, and then this Sidekick has, I don't know if I can actually get it out here, some SwissBuck paperwork. So, Buck knives, SwissBuck. Get this in the camera, sorry. So, slightly different paperwork included with each one of these. This is the typical Wenger paperwork anyway. Same tool set though. The only difference is not all, I thought all SwissBucks didn't have scale tools, but I've seen some, and I actually just acquired one on eBay that does have scale tools. It's kind of interesting. I thought none of them did, so you can see this one doesn't have any scale tools there, but if you look at the Wenger version, it does. So you'll see the typical tweezers and toothpick. Nothing on the SwissBuck. They have this similar, I don't know, call it, I think some people call it a lanyard, but it's a keychain thing. It's kind of interesting. I actually got one of those, I forget the name of it, Tech or something, P7. Someone was mentioning on the multitool.org, the forum, about that. I've seen them on other YouTubers who do Swiss Army knives. There's a clip that you can put in this keychain, so I ordered one of those off eBay, or a 2-pack, and I thought I could have this in my pocket, hang on the little chain, and then hook on the pocket, similar to how I have, like a lanyard coming out of my pocket. But same tool set, so you'll see, the knife. And this one's kind of a bummer. I noticed the bottom of this blade had a little nick in it, and you probably can't see it in the video, but I was trying to kind of clean that up a little bit with a sharpener without sharpening the blade, but I'm probably going to be using this one, make it a user, even though it was kind of virtually new. It's just a cool knife. I think it was a Swiss Army Dan who had a video about how the Traveler was like one of his favorite knives for like EDC or just in general, and it kind of influenced me to buy this. So anyway, it has the typical knife blade, which I might as well just show you the difference between a SwissBuck. SwissBuck has, what I actually really like is a clip point blade, so you can obviously see the difference between this bellied style drop point or spear. I've heard different terms for the style blade that Victorinox and Wenger used. I like the clip point better. I think this was because Buck has a lot of knives that are clip point, so they probably decided to make one for that purpose. But obviously there's been some other random Victorinox and Wenger products with clip point pen knives and stuff. But so the knife blade, and then they both have the fingernail file, but I think, if I'm correct, this is where it's interesting. So I'm opening the blade after, because for whatever reason, this is very weird. On the SwissBuck, they put the nail file tool. They put the diamond or whatever they call this sharpening edge on the inside. But the problem with that, and Victorinox did this on some models too, when you open and close your blade, or open and close this, I should say, it scratches the knife blade, so it kind of leaves some scratches on the blade. I don't know what they were doing. And it's strange that these knives being of a similar era, maybe this one was 90s or something, sorry, this is 90s, and this is early 2000s, and they switched it. But I think it makes more sense to have the whatever file edge on the outside. Strangely enough, you know, with the way Wenger does their scales, where they actually, I guess Victorinox does this. No, they don't. Wenger has the ones where they kind of hide the layers where the scale goes past it, and it actually scratches the scale plastic right there when you open and close it. But I figure I'll just file that away eventually after opening and closing it. I could just feel it grinding a little bit, and then it will be clean, because it would just have kind of worn away the plastic, whereas this is going to keep scratching steel of the main blade, which is rather unfortunate. So it has those tools, and then they both obviously have the opener layer, and they both have the cool, you know, patented screwdriver cap lifter that locks in when you push the screwdriver in, so that you can see they both say patent on them. Hopefully you can read that in the camera. Let's see if this one tilts. So they both say patent, and it's the same thing where you can see this knife's pretty new. I mean, it's still pretty oily. When you push them in, it locks. So it's hard to show you this, but I'm sure you've seen this in other videos or read about it. When you put force on this, it just pushes in slightly. I think I showed this maybe in another video. And then the last, actually a couple more tools. They both have the Wenger awl or punch or whatever you want to call it, which I don't know. Some people criticize this, saying they really like the Victorinox one better. See, I can see their point, but I don't have a problem with this. I really like the one on my Mountaineer, because the tip is sharper than these smaller knives. It's the same design tool, but it's actually kind of sharp. I don't know. I guess I'm not a huge fan of the Victorinox one. They both obviously have a bottle opener, or sorry, I should say a wine bottle opener, or wine corkscrew, I guess is the correct term. I don't care for this tool. I think it's kind of a waste. I don't drink wine. I prefer the Phillips screwdriver. I know you can hold the tool and stuff in there, but I mean the main purpose is for corkscrew, and I don't drink wine, so not a fan of this tool. Same on both of them. And then the last tool on each is the scissors. Let me open this guy up. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not so keen on this keychain thing. Flops around like crazy when you open some of the tools. But let's see if I can get this. Oops. Just started scratching my desk. Alright. Hopefully those are both in focus there. So, you know, same knife. I think this one says EP patent European. This one just says patent. Maybe because this was more of a US market knife because it was buck. I don't know. Different feel. No surprise, this is kind of I don't know if it's technically Celador, these older Wengers, because it kind of feels more like their Evo scales, which I thought were like a plastic. But they have that super nice, smooth, luxurious feel of a Victorinox Celador, so it could be Celador, and they seem to scratch just as easily. I'm not an expert on the older Wengers, but like people talk about, this is a inlaid piece of like aluminum with their little cross or whatever. No surprise, the Buck uses the same thing. That's a little inlaid piece of steel. It's on both sides on the Buck, which is kind of cool. Same thing though, and you know, it's basically the same knife. Both of them are 85 millimeter. But yeah, they're really cool. I think like this one, like I said, I think they're both were unused. I mean, I think they were, open box, I guess you'd call it, where the boxes were a little tattered. Obviously, someone had taken these out and played with them, but they didn't show really any wear on any of the tools. They still have oil. There's no scratches on the scales. Well, you know what I mean, like real wear. This is just, I think, box wear. You can see if I angle it right. You can see some oils from my hand too. But these, I believe, are a little more rare. They're not rare. You certainly see a lot of these on eBay, these Swiss Bucks. But I think they go for a little bit more. Obviously a little less common than a standard Wenger. But I've seen some crazy auctions where someone was trying to get like $100 for a Traveler, and that's nonsense. I paid $40 for this one, and it was like a buy it now, so not necessarily the best price, but I saw it and I really wanted a Traveler. It was listed wrong as a Viking, but I think that must either not be a knife of interest to people, or the general public wasn't willing to pay $40 for a Traveler. I know these were probably $20 when they were new, but they're harder to come by in 2021, so to me it was worth it being in the box and complete and basically unused. So I'll probably carry this one. I did notice one issue, and I've seen this on some other Wengers. If you look right here, it's almost like the scales aren't flush. Like it, especially here, you can see the metal underneath there, and it's almost like it's supposed to go flatter, and it's not. It's kind of weird. I actually noticed something much worse on my Mountaineer that I bought used on eBay. If you look, there's like a significant bow. Let me see if I can get this in focus. There's a big bow right here. It's like it bows out where the switch is for the lock, for the liner lock. And it's kind of strange. Maybe this is like a Wenger issue where they have problems with some of their scales, but these nylon ones on the Swiss Buck don't seem to have any issue. And obviously my couple of Wenger Evo knives don't have this issue, so that's unclear to me. But anyway, I thought you guys might want to see this couple kind of comparable Wenger products from around the same time period, just marketed quite a bit differently. This just being a standard Swiss Army market, and Buck trying to do their own thing here with the SwissBuck logo, which I think was pretty neat. I like what they were doing with the packaging and the green and the black nylon scales and this pattern. It's kind of neat. Anyway, catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.